Hello, welcome to Community Connection. I'm your host, Gloria Enloe. As many of you may know, Community Connection is a show where we try to highlight some of the fun events that are happening in Jefferson City. There's a lot that the capital city has to offer, always a lot for families to get out and do and try. Sometimes you have to look a little bit harder to find out what those events are, so we're here to try and help. Now, as many of you may have noticed, the seasons are starting to change. The kids are headed back to school and summer's turning into fall. And one of the things I like about fall is all of the fall-themed activities that happen in Jefferson City. One of the best has got to be Oktoberfest. So today we have with us Cathy Zumwalt and Walter Schroeder with the Old Munichburg Association, and welcome to the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Walter, if you could, tell us a little bit about the Old Munichburg Association and how the group got its start and what the focus is now.
The Old Munichburg Association was formed early in the year 2000 by a group of people, business people, property owners, residents, and people like me who don't live in the neighborhood anymore but have a long connection with it. And we thought that there was good reason to get together and form an association to improve the lot of the South Side, and at the same time keep in mind its traditional German heritage.
Now, I was doing a little bit of reading online and finding out a little bit more about the group, and it looks like Jefferson City has quite a long history and particularly a strong German heritage. What are some of the things that the association does to really kind of reinforce that and educate people about the city's heritage?
One of the first things we did, in fact, it was the project that got us together as a group, was placing properties on the National Historic Register, the Register of National Historic Places. And a historic district was formed around the corner of Broadway and Dunklin Street, where the Carpenter's Hall is, and other buildings were added to that. And of course, those were all built with German residents in them, sometimes by German builders, and that got us going. And we've added a lot to that. The German South Side in the 100 block of East Dunklin has been the latest in the National Historic Register places put in. That's one of the primary ways.
Now, a lot of people probably, if they live around the area or just drive through, will notice too that it's kind of hard to miss Old Munichburg now because you've got that wonderful sign up at Jefferson and Dunklin.
Yes.
I believe it is. Can you tell us a little bit about how that came to be? And I noticed that there's also some bricks and pavers around there too.
Yeah. Well, we thought it was important to put a footprint in the South Side, something that was iconic, that people could say, oh, this is the South Side, this is Old Munichburg in that area. And so we wanted a prominent sign there. We were very happy to use the building materials that were traditional in German construction, the stones that you see in foundations and the bricks that you see in walls, and then the ironwork that you see in so many balconies, both businesses and residences in the South Side. And to help pay for that, of course, we had the idea of selling bricks, because we didn't think that we would get such a response as we did. We've got over 250 bricks there now.
Wow.
And people from California to Pennsylvania have bought bricks there in memory of people who used to live there or have businesses there. And it's been a very happy project for us. We're so pleased with it. And of course, we're now embarking upon another project, which would be a mural for a building right down the street from that corner.
Well, it really livens up the neighborhood and really helps, I think, with the revitalization, which is important citywide. So congratulations on that. One of the things, too, that I know that Old Munichburg Association is excited about and that I'm always excited about is Oktoberfest. It's become a Jefferson City tradition. And Cathy, I understand you're the event coordinator for that, so can you tell us a little bit about this year's festival?
Yes, this is our 11th annual Oktoberfest. It's September 24th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's all located on West Dunklin and Washington Street, so it's a family event. It's free admission. We just got a lot of activities going on throughout the day. Some of our highlights are the Kids Corner. That draws a big crowd of the kids because we have all kinds of games and activities that the library is going to be sponsoring this year. And then of course we have our famous Dachshund Derby and costume contest. That's always a big draw for the festival. So we've got the car club show that's going to be there, the Midmo car club, excuse me. And let's see, we've got the Munichburg Beer Garden. We're going to do some wine tasting this year. We've got all kinds of local entertainment. And then at our main stage, we have the Laning family German band from Herman that comes up and will perform from 12 to 4. So we've got a lot going on that day.
Certainly sounds like it. Now, you briefly mentioned a costume contest. Is that something where you kind of have traditional German clothing, or is it more of like just a Halloween-based event? Or?
No, people just dress them up in all kinds of different outfits, and it's just a blast to go to.
Yeah, especially if you're walking around and just see different people dressed different ways. Yeah,
right.
One of the things that my daughter always likes to do when we go to festivals like that is she loves to visit, like you said, Kids Corner, and usually they have bounce houses and face painting and things like that. I noticed that it seems like a lot of businesses and churches kind of get involved and host various activities too. Right,
right. And I don't want to forget that we do have craft and food vendors that come in and they really enjoy the Oktoberfest as well. But we do have local businesses that are in the area that do sponsorships, and we're happy to get those because all the proceeds go to help with the neighborhood. So it's a good thing.
And I also noticed too that almost everything looks like, you know, obviously you can buy items too and buy food and drinks too, but most of the stuff is free. Right,
right. And at the Munichburg Beer Garden, we're going to be doing brats and the German potato salad and the sauerkraut and all that. So everybody can come in under the big tent and enjoy the music and have a cold refreshment and some good German brats and potato salad.
Too, and getting into September, it looks like it's an ideal time too, as far as the weather finally getting a break from the heat. And,
yes, we're hoping for good weather every time we have this. We always expect anywhere between 8,000 and 10,000 people. It seems like every year it grows. I think a lot of it is because of all the activities that we're increasing, you know, each year. The K9 Achievement Center is going to be there doing dog training demonstrations. That's something new this year. That's going to be in the Dachshund Arena at 11:30 that morning, so we're looking forward to having them.
And from some of the activities you described, it sounds like this is really kind of oriented towards the whole family, where everyone, all ages, can come out and enjoy it and have a good time.
Yes, it is.
Is there anything in particular that you try to stress at these festivals when you're in there and you're talking to people? Is it about educating them about Old Munichburg, or just connecting them to the heritage that the city has?
I would just say connecting them to, you know, the German heritage in that neighborhood, because there is a lot to see there, and as Walter has explained, it's a good little community right there.
Well, Walter, we talked a little bit about the association itself. Is there something that people can do if maybe they're interested in learning more about the city's German heritage, or maybe joining the association? Is there a number they can call, or someone they can talk to and find out more about it?
Well, we have a post office box, but for most people, I refer them to Cathy, because I'm president, but I don't live in Jefferson City, and so sometimes it's inconvenient to call me. So I tell people to call Cathy.
Yeah. And we have our website as well that people can go on and read all about the organization or association and just get all kinds of information from there. We post a lot of the updates on the Oktoberfest as well, too.
Well, as we said, this has been going on. Oktoberfest has for 11 years now. The turnout that you guys have gotten in recent years, how does it compare to when you first started, or has it always just been a big event?
Well, this is my 5th year of putting it on. Before, I really wasn't involved in it, but I did hear, you know, that they would start out with 200-300 people. So we have increased it quite a bit.
What is one of the things that you look forward to the most?
I just, you know, the planning, the coordinating, working with the Old Munichburg Association. They're a great group of people. I get lots of help from volunteers throughout Jeff City. So it's just a joy being with all of them.
One of the things that I always notice is we go to a lot of these festivals, my family does, and you know, they have things all through the summer, all through the fall in downtown Jefferson City, the south side, and it seems that every time you go out, even though there's a lot of people out, there's a lot of things to do, and there's big crowds, it's never annoying or inconvenient. It seems like everyone's just really friendly and
Right.
It's having fun.
Right. And they do come and have fun at the festival.
Well, is there anything that you would really urge people to attend at the festival, something that they don't want to miss?
Yeah, you don't want to miss the main stage entertainment, which it brings all the German music, and the Rhineland Wurstjägers are going to be there dancing, and we just got so much going on, you know, between 10 and 6 o'clock. You don't want to miss any of it.
Did you mention the grape stomp?
The grape stomp, yes, I forgot about that. The host, Evening Lions, is having the grape stomp as well at noon. So it usually lasts 2 to 3 hours. So that'll be all involved with around the beer garden and all the music. So you can just go from spot to spot and have fun.
Plenty to do.
Yes.
All right.
And I will mention that after the festival at 6 o'clock, then the Southside Business Association is going to have their Brews, Blues, and Brats Festival again. And that will go from 5 to 10 p.m. So that's an addition from our Oktoberfest this year.
Sounds like you could be there all day then.
You can. Come early.
Well, Cathy, Walter, thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate it. And we encourage everyone to go out to Jefferson City South Side for Oktoberfest on September 24th. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to be talking with Mike Downey about Jefferson City's Jazzfest, which is coming up. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back.
Wow, great job, guys.
Thanks, Mr. Gordon.
Believe me, you'll be in a lot of races in your life. But don't miss this one. Join me, Jeff Gordon, in the Race to Cub Scouting. It's fun at every turn.
Fun, Cub Scout. Fun at every turn. Racing cars and million stars. Gotta be some fun at every turn, yeah.
Hey, you missed a spot.
Hi, welcome back to Community Connection. I'm your host, Gloria Enloe. In this episode of Community Connection, we've been talking about some of the fall activities that are happening in Jefferson City in September. And in the first half of the show, we talked with the organizers of the Oktoberfest Festival that'll take place in Old Munichburg. But now we have with us two guests from KJLU. They are Cathe and Mike Downey. And welcome to the show, guys.
Hi. Thank you very much.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about Jazzfest, and I understand that actually what we're going to be talking about is more than just Jazzfest, Mike. I understand there's a whole weekend of activities scheduled.
Well, that's exactly right. We're calling it the Connect to the Arts Festival, and included in the Connect to the Arts Festival is the 20th Annual Jazzfest. And it's really basically going to start on Thursday night with Thursday Night Live. And that's going to run from 6 to 9 o'clock, and they're going to have a great band downtown and all kinds of fun. And then Friday on the Capitol steps, it'll be one of the Missouri River Regional Library's cultural concerts. And the great thing about this particular concert is it features the Hennessy Brothers, who will then be playing the next day in the Jazzfest. And then the bigger the bigger festival takes place. And there's going to be lots of things going on Saturday the 10th. There's going to be, of course, the Jazzfest, which will start after the Labor Day parade. But then we're also going to have a children's art, sidewalk art. And then we're also going to be having a wine tasting. We'd like to call it kind of a Missouri wine tasting and culinary event. And that will be an actual paid event in which people pay and they'll be able to taste wines from across the state. And I believe we're going to have, gosh, probably about 20 different types of wine that people will have be able to taste. And then there's going to be other art type activities going on, some performing arts, or a belly dancer, and there's going to be just all sorts of artistic events that are going to be going on that Saturday.
Well, I understand that in the past, the Jazzfest has kind of worked with Capital Arts to promote their events at the same time, but is this the first year that you're going to have this big kind of 3-day event happening all together?
This is the first that we've gotten a grant from the Missouri Arts Council. And that has helped to bring everybody together. And it's really going to be a huge event, the first time that the event will be this huge. One thing I failed to mention was after the Jazzfest, we're going to continue on with the entertainment from the stage, and we're going to have a band, we're going to call it the Bud Light Street Dance. And so that will run until 10 o'clock, and that's going to be, it's just going to be lots and lots of fun for people of all ages.
Now, in the past, I know that some of the Jazz Fests have been in Memorial Park and other locations, and this is actually going to be in downtown Jefferson City this year, right?
That's correct. It's going to be on the corner of Madison and High. We're going to have a stage set up there, and people are going to be able to, it's the exact same location where the Thursday Night Lives have been. Mm-hmm. And so we're really, really excited. We've seen the great success that Thursday Night Live has had, and we believe we can be a part of that success.
And it sounds like you've got a little bit of stuff for kind of all ages now that, of course, you can have some of the alcoholic beverages downtown, but also have things set up for the kids to do.
That's exactly right. There'll be things for people of all ages throughout the whole area.
Well, Cathe, I understand that you have helped kind of put this whole thing together, especially when it comes to booking some of the musical acts.
Right.
Can you tell us a little bit about what we can look forward to?
Well, I'm really excited about this year's lineup. Of course, Mike had just mentioned that we're going to start off with the Hennessy Brothers. They are going to be the first act. The Jazzfest music will start at 1 o'clock. So we'll start off with the Hennessy Brothers from Columbia. And then after that, we've got a group that's coming together from kind of all across the United States, but was based originally locally here in mid-Missouri, and that's Wabass Crash. After that, they're going to start about 2:20. Hopefully, if we can get everything to stay in line and everybody to get on and off when they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. After that, we've got a gal coming in that I am so excited about. I know we have tried and hoped for several years to be able to bring in Angela Hagenbach from Kansas City. And so we'll have a great jazz vocalist right in the middle of the Jazz Fest. She'll start approximately at 3:40. After that, we've got another kind of a new to us anyway, jazz group from Kansas City, kind of more on the smooth jazz side, and that's the JWB, or the James Ward Band. And they do a rendition of a Beatles tune off of their new CD that I absolutely love, and I've asked them, make sure you play that during the set, and they said, sure, no problem. And so I'm really excited. After that, we've got a favorite from last year. Last year, we brought in for the first time the Columbia Jazz Orchestra, or they call themselves COJO. And they're going to finish out the set for us. And they're a big band. We're talking, I don't remember how many they're going to have, 15, 18 artists on stage, but wow. A wonderful big band sound. A lot of people just enjoyed the heck out of them last year, and they're going to finish our night off, so we're really excited about that. Everybody that has a CD, any of the artists that have a CD, will be bringing them, so there'll be their CDs for sale during the time period of the Jazz Fest. and I'm just ready to go. I'm just ready to go.
It sounds like a lot of the acts are pulled directly from mid-Missouri or you know, at least the Missouri area.
Yes.
Was that the goal, was to highlight Missouri
Yeah,
acts?
we're still in that mode where we have so much talent in Missouri that it's so easy to just kind of look around and you kind of throw a rock and you hit a good, you know, musical artist in Missouri. And there's no reason why these people shouldn't be on stage, and they need to be.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun and kind of a chance to listen to different types of jazz all in one location, which I think a lot of people maybe aren't as familiar with the format, so this will be a good chance for them to get exposed to the music.
Yes.
Well, another thing I think we need to stress is that this is going to be a pretty low-cost activity from what I understand.
Well, yeah, if most of the events are completely free. The only real cost comes with the wine tasting and the Missouri, the taste of Missouri, if you will. And so there will be a cost for that, but everything else is not going to cost anyone anything at all.
Now, Mike, you said I think that this is going to be the 20th annual Jazzfest?
This is the 20th annual Jazzfest.
Yes.
It's been 20 years. It's just a phenomenal event that's been going on for a very, very long time.
Well, traditionally, is there a big turnout for this event? Is this kind of been always a successful thing that's become a Jefferson City tradition?
It's always had a really, really good turnout of, you know, there are folks that are just really, really dedicated. I know that there are some people that will be at this Jazz Fest that have been at every Jazz Fest we've ever had, and that's very, very exciting. And of course, the size of the crowd varies from year to year, but it's been a very successful event throughout the 20 years, and we're pretty excited about this year.
Do you have any idea about how many people will be showing up this year, or do you expect a big jump over last year now that you've kind of got all these different events happening at one time?
We're expecting a pretty large crowd. Just when you think about the success of Thursday Night Live, we like to think that we're going to have duplicate that success, and if that's the case, then there will literally be thousands of people going to this event.
Well, Keith, I know you work on air at KJLU and obviously have a love of jazz, and you probably get to talk a little bit with some of the listeners and interact with them. Are you hearing any comments, any buzz, people getting excited about this event?
I haven't, I'm not quite yet. I have had a few people say some things here and there, but we haven't gotten much of the word out, which is great. I'm glad you're doing this. We need to get a lot more word out, but normally what I hear is at the Jazz Fest, and people come up and they say, you know, they'll tell me if they like a group or not. You know, they'll come out and say, yeah, I really enjoyed this. Not so much a fan of that kind of style, you know, whatever, but they have a real good time. They're a nice vocal crowd, and I like that.
Yeah. Well, obviously it's going to be an outdoor concert, and I'm sure that there'll be, you know, places where people can stop and watch the jazz play. But it sounds like if you're kind of just milling around the downtown area, taking part in other activities, other crafts and stuff, that you can kind of just hear it from wherever you're going to be downtown. Pretty
much. You're going to be, as in past events that have been held at this location, you really can go all around downtown and hear things that are going on. And so it's going to be a real fun event. And I have to mention the Cultural Arts Commission is helping to sponsor this as well, to keep things going. So it's going to be, it's great to have them part of this.
Well, I know in the past when it was held at Memorial Park that one of the things that the Arts Council did, or the Arts Commission, is they had that sidewalk chalk art where people could come and kind of compete and come up with their drawings. And some of the stuff these people come up with, you don't know how they do it with chalk, you know. And is that going to be something that they are still going to be doing now that you're in this new downtown location? That is still a part of this festival. They've been a great partner with us, and we're glad to be able to continue that partnership and to make it part of this larger event. So that is definitely going to be happening, the chalk art. And I believe the chalk art is also going to be happening. It's going to start on Friday and continue on into Saturday. Right. Sometimes it'll be like a lot of things for people to see, not just to hear. It's kind of a full experience.
But for those folks that want to just sit and hear, bring your lawn chair.
Yes.
It's going to be a long time standing. We're going to start at 1, and the Jazz Fest will probably go into about 7:30 itself, and then there will be more music after that. So they're pretty used to bringing, well, no, they've gotten used to sitting on the benches and the tables out at the park the last few years. So remember, bring your lawn chairs.
Well, Mike, if you could just real quickly again kind of recap the schedule for us. Everything starts on Thursday?
All right, well, Thursday Night Live, and Thursday Night Live will have a band downtown. That'll run from 6 to 9. And then on Friday, it's going to be the cultural concert sponsored by the Missouri River Regional Library. And that'll be, it's on the Capitol steps unless there's weather, and then they'll relocate that. And then, of course, everything kicks off on Saturday, and it will be, we'll start off with the Labor Day Parade. And then after the Labor Day Parade, then everything else starts. You know, the chalk art, and then we're going to have kind of a pre-Jazzfest band that's going to start, performer I should say, and then the wine tasting, and then you're going to have some other performances that are going to happen between acts. With the Jazzfest, not there on the stage, but in that area. You know, we're even looking to have some historical reenactment folks who are just going to be walking through the crowd. I mean, there's
nice.
all kinds of fun stuff that are going to be going on, and that's going to be September 10th.
All right, sounds like a full day.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you
Thank
for
you very
having
much.
us.
And we appreciate all our viewers at home for watching. Make sure you stay tuned to JCTV for more great community programming. This has been Community Connection. Thanks for watching.